Hey golf people, on today's video we're going to talk about the best golf tech setup for any budget. So whether you're getting a little extra in your paycheck, you're getting a bonus, you've got a holiday coming up, a birthday, any of those things, we're going to talk about how to best spend your money if you got a little extra to spend it on golf technology. So here are the rules for today. We have a number of budgets. We've got $500, $1,000, $2,500, $3,500 and $5,000. That's the ultimate golf tech budget. We're going to make sure that we choose at least one launch monitor or simulator, as well as one device to measure distances out on course, whether that's a rangefinder, a golf watch, or possibly a handheld GPS device. We are going to make sure that we maximize every penny. So I will try to spend as much of our budget as possible and hopefully not go over budget as well. I will be giving you two options for each budget. That way you've got a few things that you can pick and choose from. And I will be trying to spread the love when it comes to products and brands. We will cover different products and brands with the least amount of overlap as possible. If you're ready, I am. Let's get into it, guys. Now we're gonna start out here with a $500 budget. So imagine you just got a little extra in your paycheck this month. You've got $500 to spend. How would you best spend this on golf technology? Well, my pick here in the $500 budget range is going to be the Flight Scope Mevo. This is a super solid golf launch monitor. It's extremely small. It fits in the palm of your hand and it slides in and out of a golf bag very easily. I find this device to be very good in terms of measuring distances, and it's very easy to set up both indoors and outdoors. Now, this is definitely going to be a much better device for outdoor usage. You're going to be able to get fairly accurate numbers out on the range with this thing in terms of ball direction, in terms of spin, club speed, ball speed, and really all the basics in terms of how you are striking the ball. So that's gonna be our launch monitor, sort of the cornerstone of this $500 budget. Then we're gonna need a rangefinder, and we don't have a whole lot of budget left here, but there is a really good rangefinder on the cheap. It's called the Tasco, and Tasco is actually owned by Bushnell, so you're getting a really good name brand behind it, a good warranty, and you can find this thing for as little as $50 on playbetter.com. I found it there. It seemed to be out of stock at this very moment, but I assume they will be getting some new stock in, and so there you go. You've got a $449 launch monitor, which is a really good price, and you've got a $50 rangefinder that is solid and will do the basics for you out on course. Now, my second option here in the budget category is an all-in-one device. This is the Garmin G80, and it literally will serve both as a basic launch monitor for you out on the range, and it even has some games built into it and some other fun features like tempo. And then out on course, I find this thing to be very powerful in terms of finding my distances with the Garmin satellites. The GPS data is the same as any golf watch from Garmin out there, and all of those I've tested have been really good. These are the same numbers you're gonna see, and it's so compact and mobile that I literally use it for a launch monitor out on course. I just need to set it up about 10 to 12 inches from the ball when I'm striking it. I've got pretty accurate numbers in terms of club speed, ball speed, smash factor, carry, rollout, and total distance. So for that all-in-one device, it's $499. That keeps us just $1 under our $500 budget, and we've got it all in one. I think that's pretty cool. All right, let's move on to our $1,000 budget. I used to get a lot of Christmas bonuses around this amount, and so if I was going to spend my $1,000 budget, here's how I would do it. 100% in terms of launch monitors in the $600 range. I actually did a video about this. I would choose the Garmin R10. The Garmin R10 is a nice portable unit. It's about the size of a deck of playing cards. It has not only all of the basics of club data, but it actually has a simulator built into it. So now I'm able to set up something either indoors in my home or maybe in my backyard, and I can play a simulated round of golf when it's raining outside, which it is right now here where I live. Now, the Garmin R10 provides club path and face data. It's a very powerful unit and definitely the best small budget Doppler unit that is out on the market, and it's finally now back available and in stock at retailers. Now that is going to come in at $599, which means we've got about $400 to spend on a really good distance measuring unit out on course. And for me, I'm gonna go ahead and choose the ShotScope Pro LX Plus package. So combining the Garmin R10 with this ShotScope Pro LX Plus, you've really got everything you could possibly need. The Pro LX Plus package is going to be not only a very good optical rangefinder, and it's very snappy and fast. I find it to be one of the fastest ones on the market at any price range in terms of hitting that button and immediately getting a distance. But on top of it, it's got a detachable magnetic golf GPS device that will literally track your clubs out on course. You can clip this thing to your belt, you can tap it, and you can literally track all of the clubs in your bag, how far you're hitting each of these clubs, and then after the round, you can go back and analyze all of that data. So you've got something super powerful in the Garmin R10 in terms of practice, and you've got something extremely powerful in terms of getting distances and then game analysis after the round in the Pro LX Plus package. Now, normally that's going to be $349.99, which leaves us $50 under budget, but we can do even better there with a discount code that I can give you, special for the LPT community. I've got that down below in the description. This is probably the time I should also tell you to subscribe, because these discounts don't last forever. And if you want to be the first to get discounts like these, you got to be subscribed to the channel. And when I release videos, we're often giving away products or giving away discount codes that are available at a limited time. So that's a really solid option in the $1,000 budget range, but I will give you a second option as well. With my second option, I'm going to stick with the Garmin R10 because, again, I think that is the best value when it comes to launch monitors in this price range. But I'm going to add, instead of the ShotScope, I'm going to add the T9 from VoiceCat. Now, this is a golf watch for all of you who prefer a watch over a handheld GPS device or a rangefinder on course. Just with the flick of the wrist, you're going to get extremely accurate GPS distances. And what's cool about this watch in particular is it has a full green map of over 30,000 courses out there in the world. And you can literally kind of cheat like the pros do with their course books and see how your ball is going to move on this green. I think it is a next level feature. I absolutely love it. And that would be my second pick here in the $1,000 budget range, the Garmin R10 paired with the VoiceCat T9. All right, moving into the $2,500 budget range, maybe I've had a nice fat tax return and I've got $2,500 to spend. Here's how I would be spending it. The cornerstone of my budget here is going to be spent on the Mevo Plus. For $1,999 or around $2,000 basically, I'm going to have a very accurate unit, something that, again, just like its younger brother, the Mevo, this thing is super portable. And now I've got an onboard camera that makes this device very powerful in terms of recording my swing. I'm going to get more data points, and now I'm going to have the option to have simulation in my home or at the range. I didn't get that in the Mevo. Now I've got that in this new Mevo Plus. I've got access to E6 with 5 courses built in, with the option to spend a little bit more and add more courses, or even use another simulation software from a third party. Super powerful device that I absolutely love at this price point. So that's $2,000, and I've basically got $500 now to buy the best distance measuring unit that I possibly can. And for me, this is a super easy choice. When I see $500 in terms of a budget, my mind automatically goes to the Garmin S62. This is the best golf watch for me out on the market right now. It's got a virtual caddy built into this thing. So literally, not only will you get the GPS distances, not only will you get club tracking, but this will actually give you advice out on course on which club to hit. It'll give you different ways that you can play the hole, like maybe instead of using driver here, you're gonna use a 3-wood, and it gives you all sorts of different scenarios. Also measures your heart rate. It is very light out on wrist. I use it even when I'm off the golf course because it's super stylish. And at $500, it just does not get any better. So there's my first $2,500 budget spend. I'm going Mevo Plus paired with the Garmin S62. Let's imagine you don't have a ton of space indoors to swing. That's where I'm gonna go ahead and switch out that Mevo Plus, and instead I'm going to bring in an optical device, a device that doesn't take as much space up. still extremely accurate. It doesn't miss many shots, and it gives me everything I need. It's the SkyTrack. That device is also $1,999, just like the Mevo Plus. I even think the SkyTrack could be more accurate indoors for a lot of you than the Mevo Plus. There's just a little less that can go wrong in terms of setup, and having an optical device is always going to be preferred indoors, in my opinion. Now, the one drawback here with that device is the fact that if you are playing with right-handed and left-handed golfers, that's a lot easier to do with the Mevo Plus because it sits behind you, whereas this needs to sit right next to the ball. But I think that issue is negated by the fact that you can have a much smaller space indoors. So it really just depends on your setup. There's two good options here in the $2,500 range. You really can't go wrong with either. All right, stepping up into the $3,500 range, I've got a lot of buddies that are in sales and they've got a big commission check for the quarter or at the end of the year. Here's how I would advise them to spend their $3,500. At $3,500, I am absolutely going with the Mevo Plus, like we talked about in the $2,500 range. But now what I'm gonna do is gonna spend an additional $1,000 and get the Pro upgrade. The Pro upgrade makes the Mevo Plus twice as powerful, if not more, by offering D-plane data. And these are three-dimensional views of how your club is striking the ball and what the ball is doing at impact. Extremely powerful. It's also going to show you club speed and acceleration profiles and really help you dial in not only the clubs you're hitting, but also the shafts that go along with those clubs. It's a super powerful device, especially if I'm a golf fitter or a golf professional out there. I'm going to be adding this Mevo Pro upgrade 100%. Now, I mentioned it's $1,000 for that Pro upgrade, but here's another spot where I can save you a few dollars. I've actually got a discount code down below. It was recently a $100 discount. Now it's a little bit less, but it's down there and you can save a few bucks on this Pro upgrade at our sponsor, playbetter.com, where I get all my golf technology. Like I said, it's another good reason to be subscribed because the folks that were here early got the $100. It's a little less now, but it'll still save you a few dollars, and you've got a little extra for balls or taxes or whatever the case may be. So now I've got my Mevo Plus with my Pro upgrade. I'm right around $3,000, which means I've got $500 to spend on a really nice device. And here's where I'm going to choose the Nikon Coolshot Pro 2 Stabilize, the top of the line rangefinder from Nikon. Especially for those of you that have shaky hands, this thing stabilizes with the lenses in the body of the rangefinder. It's very snappy, and I think Nikon makes just as good as optics as anyone out there on the market, and it's just as accurate. There's a couple other really cool features about this one. I'm leaving links to all of the video reviews down there in the description, so if you want to dive deeper on any of these products, you can do that down there below. But the Nikon Coolshot Pro 2 Stabilized, long-winded name, is my pick here. And I still got a few bucks left over, especially if I use that discount code for other things. My second pick here in the $3,500 range, of course, has to include the Bushnell Launch Pro. Now, that's literally the golf simulator that I use here in the studio. It's not quite as mobile as the Mevo Plus, so you can take it out to the range, but it's kind of like carrying a brick. But it is just a super solid, and I found it to be the most accurate device apart from the real big dogs when you're talking about spending tens of thousands of dollars on launch monitors. This thing is incredible. It gives you club face and path data as long as you attach some stickers to your clubs, and it gives you a beautiful simulation option. Actually, two different softwares that are provided by Bushnell. Now, the only drawback here with the Bushnell Launch Pro is the fact that you're going to have an annual subscription with this device. So it's not just the one-time purchase like the Mevo Plus. You're going to have to be continually paying for this device. I've got a video right here where we talk about all of the different options available. But when it comes to accuracy, this at this price point is the best. That is $3,000, which means we have $500 left to spend. And of course, you know where I'm gonna spend that. We're going right back to the Garmin S62. Guys, it is the best golf watch out there, and I am a watch guy. I'm always wearing a watch, so that's always going to be my pick right now with what's available on the market. It doesn't get any better than the S62. So now we move into the $5,000 budget category. I'm gonna imagine I hit the lottery or scratched off and I got super lucky and I've got $5,000 to spend on something. Here is how I'm going to spend that money. I'm definitely going with the Bushnell Launch Pro, so there's $3,000 right off the top. So now I've got $2,000 left over, and at this point, I'm only going for the best of the best. And for me, in terms of rangefinders, the Voice Caddy SL2 is the best. It is the best package in terms of aesthetics, build quality, and then what this thing can do. It's got super accurate distances, of course, like all of these devices. But again, on the back, it has this touch screen. It will give you course flyovers, and it will also give you those green heat maps, again, to show you where on the green that ball is going to slope. It's as good as it gets in terms of a rangefinder for me, and so now I've got the top of the line launch monitor, and now I've got the top of the line rangefinder. Where do I go next? I've still got some money left over here in my budget. I'm gonna go with the best golf watch that is really not even a golf watch. Here's my review to this one, and it's a special device because it tracks your sleep patterns, it tracks your heart rate, it tracks how many steps you take. It's a full-on fitness watch, but it also has all of the golf features that Garmin puts into its golf range of watches, with the exception of the Virtual Caddy in the S62. It doesn't have that, but it has everything else that you could possibly want, including keeping track of all your club distances out on course. It's an extremely powerful watch. It's got the best screen of any digital smartwatch I've ever seen. It's this beautiful bright OLED, but it comes at a price $1,000. So now we've got $3,000 for the Launch Pro, we've got $599 for the SL2, and now we've got $1,000 for the titanium version of the Garmin Epix. Now I'm gonna go ahead and choose the Arcos Gen 3 sensors. This is overkill, but again, this is like the ultimate golf tech budget. The Arcos sensors are going to also give you club tracking. You just screw these things onto the butt ends of your club. And what's nice about the Arcos system for $179 is now you've got the best analytics, I think, of any golf app out there. They were the ones to come up with strokes gained analyses that you now see on some of these other devices, where you can really see the parts of your game that you're doing well on or that you're struggling on. It's got the nicest course maps and really the best interface of any of these apps. The Arcos Smart Sensors, I'd add those for $179. I've still got money left over, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the Bushnell Wingman for $149. Now I've got this really cool smart speaker that I can attach to my cart. I can also use it indoors, which I actually do. This thing has great sound, and when I'm having a barbecue outside or I'm sitting out in the hammock, I've also many times got my Bushnell Wingman with me. This thing, at the click of a button, will tell you distances that you need to the hole, and so if you didn't have enough distances being chirped at you or available to you, now you've got another device. So that's how I'd spend my ultimate $5,000 budget. It's almost overkill. The only other change that I would make here in this category would be to swap the SL2 for the top of the line optical rangefinder in the Bushnell Pro XE. This is the one that the PGA Tour pros are using. This is really the top of the top end when it comes to an optical device. It's as good as it gets in terms of accuracy, having slope adjusted differences. I think it even has barometric pressure built into this thing, so it takes into account the conditions on course, which, you know, amazing next level stuff. So if you want the best of the best, I'm going Bushnell Launch Pro, I'm going SL2 from Voice Caddy, or Bushnell XE. I'm getting the Garmin Epix Titanium for something nice and light on my wrist. I'm going with the Arcos sensors and the Bushnell Wingman. Overkill, but we're having fun here, guys. How would you spend your budget? I would love to know, as well as the rest of the Let's Play Through community. We can have some fun sort of dissecting what your picks would be. Leave us a comment down below. Guys, hope you had some fun today. I hope you do get that little extra money that you can spend on yourself, because life is too short and we can't take it with us when we go, guys. So we might as well enjoy the moment and enjoy our golf. Guys, I'll catch you back here very soon on another edition of Let's Play Through.